I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from Do the Wrong Thing, an extra long novel that opens with a woman trying to kill herself. She says, "I don't know why I tried to do this," and by way of explanation, tells her life story. We are in book 3, working title, Shiny Pretty Gothic, and we're right at the very end of the book. Last week in Shiny Pretty Gothic, at Ava's first shift back at work in Release, after her hitchhiking trip, she made a snap decision. I've received feedback that the whole ending from the point where Ava arrives back in Canada goes by too fast and is geographically confusing. So I've got a bunch of rewrites and edits. This isn't the ending. There's another approximately 1,400 words. Thank you very much for your help. I'm going to jump in here at a chapter called That Brief Respite of Joy Spent Traipsing Across Western Island in the Late Summer. But first, did you know there were sand dunes in Oregon? I thought it was all trees and greenery. Oh, and Anacortes looks like a 1950s postcard of a quaint fishing village. It's true. Anacortes is a time capsule in the middle of 1987. One of my rides, a middle-aged woman driving a lemon yellow Buick, told me to take the ferry from Anacortes to Westwood instead of continuing up the highway. It's a beautiful trip. You won't regret it, she said. Next chapter. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, all American place names are real, while Canadian ones aren't. There are people in my story that don't want to be seen. Being no Nosgard, as I've said, or did I say that in later books? It's hard to keep track. I've renamed Canadian places for the privacy of those devils who've hurt me. Haha, that's sarcasm. And includes myself, if I'm being honest. Many people are shy and don't really want to hear how others, in this case me, view them. They don't like being naked, physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. And while I've made a life of it, okay, an exaggeration, but I have learned to stand unclothed and ungarnished. Is that the right word? There's got to be a better one, though. I like the idea of myself as food for the world or whoever to consume. Am I healthy? Candy? Poison? And it's served me well. Anyway, I can't force others to be naked snacks. Changing place names as we circle down the gyre closer to my home, heart, hearth. Hopefully the fictions are more like a rhythm or a beat, a texture. But they're done to hide facts. Let's not pretend that they're there for any other reason, not to reveal them. Do the wrong thing. I'm not brave enough to do it elsewise. Next chapter, Oh Canada. On the ferry, as we approach Century City, I breathe in my home country, cool, fresh, and natural. I can't wait to dock. National pride is dumb. Why be proud of something you have no control over? People who wave flags and celebrate Canada Day are square, normal. Nonetheless, here I am, profoundly and contradictorily calmed and excited at the thought of cool Canadian soil under my feet. It's cool, fresh air in my lungs and crisp breezes tickling my skin. How embarrassing, like some army supporting church going hick. I love my country, like really love it. Oh, Canada, my home and native land, through patriot love, all thy sons command. Sick. Yeah, I actually sing the national anthem, tears filling my eyes. I'm off the ferry when I sing, there's no one around. I kneel, drop my backpack, and literally kiss the pine needles and dirt by the side of the road. I spread out my arms and hug that patch of planet as best I can. Then I get up, still crying, but smiling, and hoist my backpack on. Not one car has passed in over an hour yet. According to this map, the gravel road I'm on is correct. I trudge, sun warm on my skin, massive trees guarding me, and birds entertaining. Spruce, pine, and cedar, ocean, and sun-baked road. I inhale deeply. Hey, is that? It is. A brown and white sign, Teleman Valley Regional Park. I'm here. Inside, I leave a groomed path to walk across moss that hangs like hammocks over bulging tree roots, surrounded by green, boughs above filtering sun, ferns and big-leafed plants breaking up the mossy roots, everything, even the air, verdant. I take up my sleeping bag and lay it across the moss, eat a couple granola bars and some yogurt, pack my garbage back into my backpack, not out of a desire to keep the forest clean as much as to keep insects away, and unaware that bears and mountain lions live here. Sleep, my first night back in Canada, in a huge emerald bedroom, like something out of a fairy tale. Then there's a part about Cedar Bay, the houseboat village. Wendy, the singer, lives in a bus on an island. Then chilly bath in a tide pool at dawn. Walk most of the way to the ferry before a guy in an old truck takes me across 2 ferries back to Westward Island. Long waits, short rides, gray sky, another ferry to the continent. I'm on my way back to Release. Westward. The city is named the same as the island. I heard it was stunningly beautiful, but standing along a highway, low gray clouds pressing down, flat, old, dirty buildings surround me. You'd think the outskirts would be beautiful too. It starts to rain. 5 o'clock. I left Wendy's at 7 a.m. Where am I? 60 minutes out of Westrood if I'm lucky. A truck with a morose, younger than usual driver, maybe mid-30s, stops. And there's the episode where the trucker threatens to rape Ava. In Trammell, the bus station is a bowling alley. I buy a Greyhound ticket across the country to Concord, a 3-day trip. From Concord, I'll find my way to Release, maybe stopping at my parents'. I haven't decided yet. The bus leaves at 4 p.m. tomorrow. I rent a room in the motel beside the bowling alley, shower, and sleep. Dryden, a third of the way home. So small for the label city. In a hostel, which is more like an old farmhouse that rents out rooms, I stand in a sunny bathroom at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The connection to Concord leaves at 6 a.m. tomorrow. My crotch started itching a couple days ago, but it's getting worse. I pull down my jeans and look. What the? Tiny black specks moving amongst my pubes. I pinch one with my fingers and bring it to my face. A bug with tiny pincers like a crab. I knew I shouldn't have bathed in that tide pool. It was too shallow, smelled bad, and as I dried myself, I saw a small crab scurrying along the edge of it. When will I learn? Saved myself from the bracing cold of the ocean, but now I've got bugs. And that's the last memory I have until a flash of standing against a brick wall in Borden, my Release neighborhood, sweating in my waitressing uniform of a white shirt, black dress pants, and black shoes, staring at the hard sidewalk as cars whiz by on 4-lane Sampson Avenue, which I've just ducked off to hide on this side street. Those ever-present city hums and whirs, air conditioning from the residential and office buildings, but also from the dirty, dripping units that sit precariously over the glass shop doors of convenience stores, florists, coffee shops, and whatnot that line Sampson. I suppose there are factories in the distance, unseen, building equipment like elevators, garbage compactors, and plumbing systems, electrical grids inside and out of buildings, often vibrating at a higher pitch, airplanes above, buses, trolleys, distant trains to service those distant factories, home appliances, shop doors opening and closing. They fill every conceivable audio space, and my thoughts shrink into a tight, terrified ball, cowering center brain where the frontal, parietal, and temporal lobes meet, like that spot in Germany, Holland, and Belgium where the countries meet, unable to tell which is which. I breathe deep, longing for nature, space, fresh air, and birds, longing to be alone. What am I going to do?